disenchanted with science, he transferred to the University of Texas, and he also made their contact with Hare Krishna devotees. And during the military service in Panama, he encountered with ISKCON devotees, and that changed his life dramatically. And after that, he has been connected with ISKCON, serving very vigorously various services for the pleasure of Srila Prabhupada. And his early contribution in ISKCON Costa Rica centered on administrative service and distributing BBT publication, beginning in 1975 in USA, and from 1976 to 78 in Central America. And also he became the temple president of Costa Rica temple in 1978, and then began traveling around Latin America, opening new temple, establishing worship centers, and collaborating in diverse administrative services. In 1987, he became member of the GBC with zonal assignment in Tucson area of Arizona and Mexico. So I'm sorry, I'm pronouncing, may not be pronouncing nicely. So so he has been serving, and in 1976 in Mayapur Vrindavan festival, Maharaj was initiated by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada ki. And he received sannyas initiation in Rio de Janeiro in Brazil in 1982. And Maharaj has been serving from so many years, and currently he is co-zonal secretary for EI Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Panama, so many places. And also he is serving as a GVC for Delhi NCR. So after His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, His Holiness Prasad Swami Maharaj is there for all of us to guide us, to inspire us, and he's in fact chairman of GVC. So let's welcome His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj by chanting Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna. So it's a pleasure to be here in Dwarka Temple again today. Are you someone will translate or not? Or no? Okay. Oh, okay. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari.
एक्सेंट अलग रहता है.
Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana Yamuna Tira Vanachari Yamuna Tira Vanachari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gauda Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Shri Caitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gauda Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Haribo, 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 Gaura Haribo. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupada Paramahamsa Paribhasha Akacharya Ashtottara Shatashishimad Abhaya Charana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Shri Prabhupada Ki Jai Nitya Lila Pravishtom Vishnupada Ashtottara Shatashishimad Shri Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Thakur Prabhupada Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Se Kaho Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivashari Gaura Bhaktavinda Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopinath Shyamakunda Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Ki Vrindavan Dham Ki Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Mai Ki Yamuna Mai Ki Tulsi Devi Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Samaveta Bhaktavinda Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Brihat Mridanga Ki Nitai Gaura Premanandi. All glory to the Assembled devotees, all glory to the Assembled devotees, all glories to the Assembled devotees, all glories to Shri Guru, Shri Gauranga, Shri Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So reading from Sri Caitanya Charitamrita, Adi Lila, chapter 8, beginning text number 13. Ateva punakahum udra bahu hanga Caitanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Oteva Punakahun Utva Bahuhanga Caitanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Ateva Punakahun Udva Bahuhanya Caitanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Deva Punakahun Udva Bahuhanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Bahuhanya Caitanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Vaishnavi Nateva Punakahun Udva Bahukanya Caitanya Nityananda Bhaja Kutarka Chadiya Oteva, therefore, Una, again, Kahun, I speak, Urdhva, lifting, Bahu, arms, Hanga, so doing, Chaitanya, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, Lord Nityananda, Bhaja, worship, Kutarka, useless arguments. Chadiya, giving up. Translation purport by Srila Prabhupada. Therefore I say again, lifting my arms, O fellow human beings, please worship Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda without false arguments. Purport. Because a person who performs Krishna Bhakti, because a person who performs Krishna Bhakti but does not understand Sri Chaitanya and Prabhu Nityananda will simply waste his time. The author, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, requests everyone to take up the worship of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu and the Panchatattva. He assures everyone that any person who does so will be successful in Krishna consciousness. Om Jnanatimirandasya Ganam Jana Sharakaya Chakshurum Militam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Sri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Tadati Swaparantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pachadine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastyatya Deshatadine Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasari Gaura Bhaktavinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So I just want to go back a couple verses just for context. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, unless people worship me, they will be destroyed. What does that mean? It means, as Rupa Goswami says in Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, that the roots of one's devotional creeper will be uplifted. So that doesn't mean you lose your devotional service, because neha bikramanashusti pratyavayam vidyate swapamapyasya dharmasya, there's always some benefit. But actually, if one commits offenses, and the greatest offense is to not understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And why did Chaitanya Mahaprabhu say this? Because the students he was teaching, after he came back from Gaya, he was completely transformed. He took on the mood of a devotee. Before that, he was Nimai Pandit, puffed up like most Pandits. Generally speaking, Pandits are proud of their knowledge. Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, because Pandits should be in the mode of goodness. So when one is in the mode of goodness, if one is not in pure goodness, then one will become proud of one's knowledge. I know more than others. If we have knowledge, a devotee thinks, if I have some knowledge, it is only due to the mercy of Sri Guru and Parampara. And therefore, my duty is to take it from the Parampara and serve others by distributing it to them. That's how a devotee thinks. But a Pandit thinks, I'm so intelligent, I'm so capable. Others are below me. So he gave up that mood and came back in the mood of a devotee. Sometimes devotees ask, Lord Chaitanya said, Trinadapi sunichana torodiva sahishnuna. If I do this, then everyone will take advantage of me. Well, it depends. If you're a Kshatriya, just like Arjuna, he was very humble. Before Krishna, he was very humble. Before the devotees, he was very humble. But before the other people, he performed his duty. Even then, being a Vaishnava, as Srila Prabhupada explains in the purports to Bhagavad Gita, he didn't want to fight, showing the mood of a Vaishnava. But then Krishna reminded him, you have to fight. You must, because otherwise then the parampara will not go on. The message of Krishna will not reach others. And these demons, they're demoniac persons. Even though Duryodhana was a good manager, that is not the qualification for being Krishna conscious. That is not the qualification for being a leader. Therefore, real leaders, we call them Raja Rishi, Rajarshi, that they have qualities of a Rishi, but they are Raja, they must enforce it. So Arjuna accepted that, but he was humble. But it didn't interfere with his duty. And of course a devotee understands that anything that is happening to me is coming from my past destiny. So a devotee doesn't become disturbed. As Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, that sam nivojate loko no lokam no dvichate saya. He says that the symptom of a person situated in love for Krishna, who is very dear to Krishna, is never disturbed by anyone and never disturbs anyone. This is, it's very difficult to do that, because people are very disturbing. Most people, in Kali Yuga especially, and everything about around us is disturbing. Horns honking, people yelling, people fighting, wars going on, disease, so many problems, so many difficulties. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came back, and his students, because they were not devotees, they wanted to take advantage of him. They wanted him to be what he was, Nimai Pandit, and they wanted him to give knowledge so that they can become Pandit, so that they can even become better. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada says, if we understand the nature and the reality of Guru, we don't use the Guru's head as a stepping stone. No. Now I will go beyond. No. Srila Prabhupada wrote one letter to one devotee who was, he had read something in some book, not Prabhupada's book, and he said, so does that mean, how can I understand that you didn't do this or you didn't know this? And Prabhupada said, do not be a greater Paramahansa than your Guru Maharaj. No. So, because actually Srila Prabhupada mentioned that the greatest, one time he was speaking with the devotees and he said, what is the greatest desire of the spiritual master? Someone immediately said, Sankirtan. Prabhupada said, no. Then, that we develop love of Krishna. Prabhupada said, he more or less. And then devotees didn't know what to say. Prabhupada said that the disciple becomes more advanced than the Guru. That is the greatest desire of the Guru. To see the disciple become very advanced. Because that means to the Guru, I have done my service. If everyone remains a neophyte, then my message was not properly understood. So that may have two reasons. One is that the Guru is not qualified, or the other is that it's Kali Yuga, and no matter what you say, people do the opposite. Unless you tell them to be material. If you tell them to be materialistic, maybe they will become devotees. No, yeah. This is nature of Kali Yuga. So Caitanya Mahaprabhu came back, and he was in this mood. The students, they could not understand. Then one day Caitanya Mahaprabhu started chanting Gopi, Gopi. And one student said, why are you chanting this? This is no Vedic mantra. No. He could not understand Bhagavad Gita. Vedaishta sarvaraham eva vedyo. The purpose of the Vedas is to understand Krishna. Vrindavan Das Thakur says that the only time the people in Navadvip would chant the name Krishna or Govinda was if it was part of a mantra. They didn't chant Mahamantra or other mantras. I mean other names of Krishna. They just, excuse me, a little leftover from yesterday. Nice Delhi air. No. So, so now, but Caitanya Mahaprabhu, so he says, if a person offers obeisances to me, even accepting me only as an ordinary sannyasi, his material distresses will diminish, and he will ultimately get liberation. So when the Lord said they will be destroyed, it doesn't mean that he was speaking, oh, if no one worships me, they will have a problem. He's saying if they don't understand me and my message and my Sankirtan movement, then their purpose of human life will be destroyed. They will simply become absorbed in samsara and take another birth and another birth and another birth. So it was out of his causeless mercy that he took sannyas, so that people would offer obeisances to him, and then they would get great benefit. It wasn't like sometimes people say, why does Krishna want us to worship him? It's not that Krishna wants that. Krishna wants us to worship him so that we develop humility and the proper mood of bhakti, so that he can become subordinate to us. Like to Mother Yashoda, like to the gopis, like to his friends, even to his servants, even to the cows. Krishna is the first servant. He's serving the cows. Just like yesterday was Gopastami. So Gopastami, Krishna begins to stops herding the calves and begins to herd the cows. So I was just thinking how we took Krishna and Balaram out on Gopashtami, so they can herd we were calves, and by His mercy we can become cows. Otherwise, instead of being a neophyte devotee, we can become more advanced devotees, and therefore He comes and appears before us in His beautiful deity form, of Rukmini Dwarkadish, Jagannath, Gornitai, Damodar, so just to bless us. So then we come to this previous verse that then Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he takes it to another degree. This mosquito feasting on me. So he takes it to another level of understanding. One who does not show respect unto this merciful Lord, Caitanya Mahaprabhu, or does not worship him, should be considered a demon, even if he is very much exalted in human society. Jarasandha, he was very pious. He performed all sacrifices. He worshipped a deity, but he could not understand Krishna, and therefore he was condemned. So, in the same way, people who worship Lord Chaitanya, who worship Krishna, but they don't worship Lord Chaitanya, means that their understanding is incomplete. And this is why we have this very special duty to go out and distribute Srila Prabhupada's books, so that everyone in India and everywhere in the world, other places they don't even know who Krishna is. They don't even know what the Vedas are. But here in India we have a very special duty, because people do know Krishna, although they don't understand Krishna properly. Just like one time I was flying from Mangalore to Bangalore, or Mangaluru to Bangalore, nowadays. And one man was sitting next to me, and he said, "Why are you dressed like this?" I said, well, I'm a devotee of Krishna. I should have said an aspiring devotee, but anyway, I said devotee. And he said, oh, I know Krishna. I said, oh, you worship Krishna? Yeah, I know Krishna. He didn't say he worshiped Krishna. I said, oh, then you must read Bhagavad Gita. No, I don't read Bhagavad Gita, but I know Krishna. So this is India. Everybody knows about Krishna, but they don't know Krishna. So this is our duty. This is how we connect with Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in a real way. Srila Prabhupada, he never taught Krishna consciousness in an esoteric way. He taught it in a practical way. The esoteric thing will come later. It will come automatically. You don't need to, do something about it. If you just, as Prabhupada said, you read my books and distribute them. You read my books and you distribute them. Don't just distribute them and not read them. Then you're just a salesman. And so, you may be good at sales techniques, but you will not be able to develop Krishna consciousness, and you will not be able to distribute as many books. Maybe someone is a good salesman, just like I remember one devotee had the idea, because there weren't many, this is in the West, not so many brahmacharis, so one devotee thought he would hire some attractive girls with roller skates, because he saw them, selling some things on the street corners. They would come up roller skates, and people would buy it. So he'd let me hire some girl and give them Prabhupada's books, and then people would be attracted. They can buy the book. But after about 2 hours, the girls said, "We quit. Nobody takes these books." And the devotee said, "I go out, I distribute 70, 80 books a day." But because they have no bhakti, Krishna does not connect the person, because there's no bhakti. So this is a way we cultivate our bhakti. We can measure our bhakti. If I can't go out and distribute at least one book, to someone. You don't even have to sell it. But if you have no bhakti, even you try to give it away, then people will just take it and throw it away. That's more unusual in India. But in the West, when the airport, we used to distribute books in the airport, and sometimes the people would just put the book down or put it in the trash can. But the airport workers, they knew that these books were very valuable. So they would get the books that people threw away, put down, and they would sell it back to us for $1. And we would sell it for $5. So everybody got some profit. So we had the airport workers also doing Sankirtan, doing Sankirtan to the devotees. But they touched Prabhupada's books and they appreciated it. Actually, many of those workers, they said, because they would keep a book, and what's this all about? Why are these people spending all day long in the airport selling these books? Many of them started reading Prabhupada's books, and some of them became devotees, just by Srila Prabhupada's books. So now in this verse, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he shows us how do you worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. You raise your arms and you say, Nitai Gaur, Hari Hari Bo. No. And then otherwise it says, Bhajaku Tarka Chadiya. Give up all your false arguments. He also says in this chapter that if one is addicted to logic, like we have a logical brain. So if you like logic, then apply your logic to the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and you will find it to be most wonderful. So you like logic, just like we have Bhagavad Gita and all of the Bhagavatam, Chaitanya Charitamrita, and we try to understand them with logic. Mostly you can understand Bhagavad Gita with logic. At least you can understand it to some degree with logic. Bhagavatam you can understand a little bit with logic. But Chaitanya Charitamrita, with just logic, you probably won't understand very much. So, but even Bhagavad Gita to understand, otherwise what does it mean to understand Bhagavad Gita? It means you apply it in your life. Not that you have some intellectual conception. Just like Einstein. He was a very brilliant person. Although they estimate his IQ was about 160. Now there's one lady, supposedly, that has an IQ of 300. So she's like double Einstein. But she's doing business. So that means she has no intelligence. She has all this brain power, and she's doing business. I mean, she has the power to be, supposedly, theoretically, to be, to show everyone who thinks that women should not initiate that they should, because she's so brilliant. But she's not doing that. And so she's doing business and writing some books on mundane subject matters. Like how women are equal to men. Prabhupada said, you show me man who becomes pregnant, then I will say they are equal. It's just one man only, not every man. So, anyway. So, therefore, Krishnadas Kaviraj, because the previous statement sounded a little difficult, You're a demon. If you don't worship Lord Chaitanya, you're a demon. That sounds very, very heavy. So he says here, lift up your arms and chant the holy name of Krishna. Chant the name of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Worship him. But we worship him by putting these books in our hands and understanding who he is, and then giving his mercy to others. This is the best way. If you just walk around with your hands in the air and say Chaitanya, Chaitanya, Nityananda, Chaitanya, then people will think, what's wrong with him? But if you give them a book, then they will be eternally grateful. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada wrote one letter, and because in the beginning of our movement, everyone did Harinam Sankirtan. There were no books. Then they printed one pamphlet, and then devotees were distributing this pamphlet in New York City. And then one person wrote an article in New York, I forget, New York Times, one big newspaper, and said, these people in orange robes are wandering around the streets singing, just like crazy men. And so they brought that article to Srila Prabhupada. Well, Srila Prabhupada said, who is crazy? He said, they are from Europe. They have come from Europe, these people. But previous to them, there were other people from Europe. Now they say they're Americans. It belongs to them. Previously, there were colonizers who came, and they said this belongs to us. Previous to them, there were Indians, and they said this belongs to us. So who is the real owner? So I say they are crazy. We understand Krishna is the proprietor. No one else. We are simply living on his mercy. And so Prabhupada gave a lecture on who is crazy. And then they printed a pamphlet and distributed that to everyone. And then finally, they started printing Prabhupada's small books, Easy Journey, a couple others. But mostly they were doing Harinam Sankirtan. Just like Jayananda Prabhu, probably one of Srila Prabhupada's most surrendered disciples. He was so surrendered. Actually, he had cancer. He had leukemia, cancer of the blood. Because the reason he got cancer was he would not sleep. When he was temple president in San Francisco, he would drive a taxi to make money. There was no money. People weren't giving donations. There were no life members. And so he would get up, first person to get up in the morning. He would wake up all the devotees. Then they would have Kirtan. Then he would cook. And then he would distribute the prasadam to the devotees. Then he would take the devotees out on Harinam. And then he would go to the marketplace and buy vegetables and fruits and grains. Then he would come back and he would cook. And then he would go out and drive the taxi. And then he would go pick up the devotees. They would come back, take prasadam. Then he would wash the pots. And then everyone would take rest. And he would finish up all the duties. And he would take rest. Every day. And so, because he was so absorbed in service, he was neglectful to his body. And therefore his body became very weak, and he got cancer. That was the external cause. I think the internal cause was to show what complete surrender means. So then the devotees, they found one clinic, natural curing of cancer in Mexico. So he went there, and every day he was giving Bhagavad Gita class to all the people in that clinic. And so finally the director, he said, no, you can't do this. People have to be very peaceful. He said, this will make them peaceful. Right now, the reason they're here is because they were not peaceful. Now he said, no, you can't give the class. He left next day. So if I can't preach Bhagavad Gita, what is the use of being here? No. So, and then Prabhupada said, you have to take care of your body. And he said, yes, Srila Prabhupada. He tried a little bit. He said, Prabhupada, what can I do? This body belongs to you. I'm only using it in your service. Now it's becoming useless. Please allow me just to leave, just like a shadow of Haridas Thakur. He said, because Prabhupada, you are old, and if I am very healthy, then you will leave before me, and I cannot tolerate this. So Prabhupada said, all right, you can leave. And he just chanted Hare Krishna and left. So. But the point is, there were no books. And then after that, when books were available, one devotee went out and distributed like 3 big books, and Prabhupada was amazed, because nobody could distribute the big books. And then Prabhupada said, I want you to teach them how to distribute. That was Keshava Prabhu. So he started distributing more. He got to 10 books, 15, 20, 25 books. Devotees were starting to distribute books. And that's how it began. And then one devotee said, Srila Prabhupada, what about Harinam Sankirtan? And Prabhupada said, Harinam Sankirtan is very good, but distributing books is better. So, of course, we do both. We go on Harinam, we distribute books, then we distribute books, then we distribute more books. That is our business. So, I wanted to take a few minutes, since we're talking about the mercy of Caitanya and Nityananda. How will that mercy come to the world? By Srila Prabhupada's books. So I'm promoting a little different system than we've been doing, because our system up to now mostly has been that some brahmacharis, some bhaktas who live in the temple, they go out and distribute books, and everybody else does what they do, taking care of their family, whatever, studying. So I propose that Vaisheshika Prabhu, everyone know who Vaisheshika Prabhu is? He's like one of the oldest book distributors in the movement. Only one older than him is Bhrigupati Prabhu. Bhrigupati Prabhu has been distributing books every day for about 53 years. Every day. So, Vaisheshika Prabhu wrote one book, Our Family Business. Our family is Srila Prabhupada's family. And what is our family business? Sankirtan. So, I recommend everybody read this book. But because it's our family business, and because we are all in Srila Prabhupada's family, then we all must do the family business. Just like when there's a poor family, and even the children, they go out and, sometimes you see little 4 or 5-year-old collecting, begging on the corner, because poor family, so everyone has. So I say that even the poorest ones, means you have no experience in distributing books. You might be the poorest one. But even the poorest ones in the family business, they have to go out. Because what is our family business? We will never be satisfied until every person has a book. Everyone must have a book. Not only, and then when they have a book, they must have all books. And they must have Bhagavatam, they must have Caitanya Charitamrita. Then when they read this, if I don't worship Lord Chaitanya, I'm a demon. Let me worship him. Who is he? Let me worship him. So that's why it's so important to distribute Caitanya Charitamrita. Then they will realize that they have to worship Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He will give us access to Shri Shri Radha Krishna. Otherwise, how will we have access? So many people worship Radha and Krishna, but they don't know how to worship them. They don't know how to surrender them. They don't understand the nature of Krishna's Leela. Therefore, Bhaktivinoda Thakur, in his Caitanya Shikshamrita, and also in other books, he has described that the killing of the demons is to destroy anarthas. That's why Krishna does. He does it for his pastime, but he does it to protect his devotees. And for those, the residents of Vrindavan, but for those of us who are not residents of Vrindavan, he protects us by showing us that we must kill these anarthas. Just like Putana. Putana, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, Putana is the false guru. The guru who tries to kill Krishna. The Mayavadi. He's guru, flower in the hand, big beard, but he's killing Krishna. He'll speak about Krishna and then he says, we're all Krishna. So he reduces Krishna down to an insignificant person. just like we have Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu here. So, when Mahaprabhu was in Jagannath Puri, if you wanted to see him, you had to go through Swarup Damodar. So one Bengali poet, he came and he said, I've written a poem about Jagannath. And the devotees, Balaram Acharya, he said, yes, but we worship Jagannath and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Oh yeah, I've also included Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. I also included. Oh, okay. So Balaram Acharya heard his poem. He said, oh, this is so nice. Then he sat down, the poet, and he recited the poem to the devotees. They were all completely overwhelmed, the beauty of this poem. And then Balaram Acharya went to Swarup Damodar. He has written this poem and he wants to recite it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Please allow him. He said, no, you're a sentimental cowherd boy. No, because Balaram Acharya, his original position is a cowherd boy. So he said, you don't understand these higher rasas. And he said, these people, they don't understand rasa. They will commit rasa basa. No. So he kept insisting every day, no, he's so beautiful poem. So finally, Swarup Damodar said, let me hear. And all the devotees were sitting around thinking, oh, when Swarup Damodar hears this, he will immediately take it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So he spoke the first verse, and Swarup Damodar said, stop. In this verse you have committed two grave offenses. First, you are saying that the body of Lord Jagannath is wooden. And then you are saying that the soul of that body is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So you have reduced Jagannath to an ordinary being who has a material body, and you have reduced Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to an ordinary jiva. No. He chastised him like anything. And then the Pandit was practically ready to leave his body because he was so defeated so strongly. But then Swarup Damodar had mercy. He said, therefore, you associate with the devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then you will gain access and you will understand how to properly glorify. Just like, I don't know if I mentioned it here, but one time in 1971, one devotee, fairly new devotee at that time, he came to Mayapur with his guitar, you know, and he asked Srila Prabhupada. Everybody at that time, everybody had direct access to Srila Prabhupada. You know, there was no secretary, no protocol. You just went, spoke to Chaitanya, to Srila Prabhupada. But he said, Prabhupada, and he brought his guitar. I have written one song about Krishna, and so he said, can I play it for you? Prabhupada said, yes. Wasn't like, oh yes. No, like, yes. So he played his song. So he was waiting. He told me afterwards. He said, I was waiting for Prabhupada to say, oh, you've done so nicely. And he said, he was waiting. He said, so about Srila Prabhupada, did you like it? Prabhupada, it is a nice sentiment. But if you want to learn how to make songs for Chaitanya, for Krishna, then you study Bhakti Vinod Thakur and Narottam Das Thakur. He went away with his guitar and he asked devotees, who is Narottam Das Thakur? Bhakti Vinod Thakur. So that means that to understand Radha and Krishna, to even understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to understand Lord Jagannath, we have to take shelter of the parampara. We have to hear Srimad Bhagavatam every day. We have to hear this Chaitanya Charitamrita. We have to hear Bhagavad Gita. We have to have this determination. So my proposal for Sankirtan is that everyone, every congregational devotee, everyone who's connected, you immediately become Sankirtan devotees. You know? And you distribute very least, minimum, one book a week. If you're very busy, better one book a day. You know? Not so difficult. You can give it away, sell it, whatever you want to do. But the important thing is, you must get that person's contact. And if they're reluctant to give you their contact, give them your contact. Say, just when you finish the book, please write to me, or call me, or write to me, and tell me what you thought. No. And immediately you become guru. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Charita Katari Kaha Krishna Padesh Hamara Gyaya Guru Hanya Tarai Desh. Everyone has to become guru. So you immediately become guru. No. And then they will, and these people will, especially here in India, I think most people will respond and they'll say, oh, I have some question. Then you become a preacher. And when you become a preacher, anyone who preaches, you know that as soon as you preach, you have to study more, because people will ask questions and you have to know how to answer the question. So this will elevate all of our devotees to become a guru and preacher, which is what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Ataiva ami agya dilun sapakare jahan tahan prema pala deha jaditahi. He said, I order everyone within the universe, you must take these fruits of love of Godhead, and those fruits have taken a practical form of the books of Srila Prabhupada, and give them to everyone. Anyone you meet, everyone you meet, you must give these fruits. That is the order of Lord Chaitanya. Therefore, I'm not making something up. This is not some Sankirtan strategy, although it also is a Sankirtan strategy. But it's actually just obeying Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So that means at least you'll get 52 contacts. At least. If you distribute one book a week. In 1 year you'll get 52 contacts. If you distribute more, you may have 100, 200, 300, 2,000, 10,000. No. So then, every day you take, depending on how many contacts you have, take 1 hour a day and get in touch with these people. Say, oh, now you have Bhagavad Gita. So, have you read it? You keep in touch, preaching. No. Yes. What have you understood? Now I think that you are ready for Srimad Bhagavatam. No. And then you distribute the Bhagavatam. And then after they have Bhagavatam, you ask them some questions, you explain some parts of the Bhagavatam, and you say, now I think you've graduated to Chaitanya Charitamrita. And you must have all these other supplementary books so you can understand Nectar of Devotion, teachings of Lord Chaitanya, teachings of Queen Kunti, all these books. And all these small books, they will help you understand Bhagavad Gita better, because almost all of Srila Prabhupada's small books are based on one chapter of Bhagavad Gita. And in this way, every devotee, Vaisheshika Prabhu told us in the ICC meeting that our goal for this 2025 is 100,000 sets of Bhagavatam. So I think if we do this program, if everyone takes it seriously, and the leaders, you have to be in touch with every congregational devotee. Have you distributed one book? Then we will double Sankirtan every year. More than double. No. This was Srila Prabhupada's desire. We can never do this with a group of brahmacharis. You can't double every year. Impossible. No. You cannot do that. Because some people will be brahmacharis, and some of them will get married, and then they won't be able to go out every day, and So we can't depend on, especially Kali Yuga, can't depend on that every brahmachari will be a Naishtika brahmachari, and that's not practical. No. You ask Daksha. No. He also said this to Narada Muni. No. He said, why are you trying to make these young men brahmacharis? No. If they don't get married and experience life and all the challenges and pleasures of life, then they will be frustrated at the end of life. No. So, just like one person asked Srila Prabhupada, why are you preaching this renunciation to these young people? No. And Prabhupada said that if I preach renunciation, someone will do it. If I preach pravritti marg, no one will do it. No. So, no. It's like how many brahmacharis do? Look at all these people. How many are brahmacharis? No, not so many. No. So this is the nature of this world. Nature, Maya is very expert in making you, frustrating you completely with material life. If you read Prabhupada's books, you will ultimately be frustrated with material life. If you don't, you will, as Krishna says in Bhagavad Gita, you will aspire for heavenly planets and, make my home a heavenly planet. Buy all kinds of goods from China, at a cheaper price, and make my home. I have this apparatus. I have nice big stereo and big screen. But even if we have the big screen, then we can put Prabhupada. And so many devotees, YouTube preaching. Then you can have Bhagavatam full scale. Everyone looks like he's right there in the room. So Prabhupada said, there's no problem with technology as long as we use it in Krishna's service. So this is my idea. And this way I'm convinced that we can distribute more books, and each Sankirtan devotee, especially the Sankirtan devotees who go out and distribute 50, 100, 150, 200 books, then they'll have so many contacts that they will have to, whoever didn't go out, they will say, Prabhu, come, I'm going to give you 10 contacts. And you cultivate them. But this personal touch also is very important. This helps people to advance more quickly. They don't just come and be part of the congregation and then go away. We're in touch with every person. And that way people will understand and take Krishna consciousness more seriously, more quickly. Because we are a personal philosophy. We feel the touch of the Guru, of the senior Vaishnavas when they come and they help us and we can speak to them. But that's not possible. Not possible that everyone can go to their Diksha Guru and have the time. But if every one of us becomes Guru, then we'll have different levels of understanding. And everyone will feel this personal touch. And they will advance very quickly. So this is twofold. Threefold. We distribute Prabhupada's books and please Srila Prabhupada, which means we will make advancement. We become Guru, and we give everyone the chance to get personal association, even if they don't want it. I'll conclude with this. There's one verse, maybe I'll just look it up because I can't remember the verse. Satya Dishat. It's 5th canto, 5th canto, I'm trying to remember the chapter. It's been a long time since I looked at this verse. I think 19, 27, as I remember. Yes, here it is. Satyam dishat yatitam atito ninam naiva tato yatpunar artita yataha swayam vidate bachatam anichchatam ichchani padam nijapada palavam. So, the Supreme Personality of Godhead fulfills the material desires of a devotee who approaches him with such motives. Oh, great. This is what I always wanted. No. But he does not bestow benedictions upon the devotee that will cause him to demand more benedictions again. However, the Lord willingly gives the devotee shelter at his own lotus feet, even though such a person does not aspire for it. No, like sometimes we think, if I advance too quickly, then how will I satisfy my desires? No. And that shelter satisfies all his desires. That is the answer. That is the Supreme Personality's special mercy. So sometimes we say, oh, Krishna, take away these desires, but not this one. No. these three desire, please let them go on. No, so here Krishna promises, I'm sorry, I can't do that. No, I want you to become my pure devotee. So this Sankirtan movement allows us all to become pure devotees of the Lord. It's a very wonderful, special Sankirtan movement, and we all have to take advantage of it. We all have to participate. I even have seen sometimes the pujaris at least in east of Kailash, haven't spent that much time here to see. They have some books on the altar, and some people, when they become very inspired, they give them a book right from the altar. They put a nice donation, take a book. So this is, we want this consciousness. And this, of course, the pujaris are Sankirtan devotees because they're dressing the deities so beautifully that people will be so attracted to Krishna that they will inquire. And the cooks, if they're good cooks, they will attract everyone to Krishna Prasad. If they're bad cooks, then they may commit offenses. But if they're good cooks, people will become attracted to Krishna Prasad. So these are some thoughts on this verse and on the Sankirtan movement of Sri Caitanya Mahaprabhu, how he himself is distributing his mercy so we are not destroyed by samsara. So I'll stop here. Any question, comment? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Maharaj. Maharaj, listening to you is actually festival for years. Thank you so much.
Hare Krishna.
Yes, Maharaj. Maharaj, here in the translation it says worshipping both the deities Gauranga Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu without false arguments. So, on the contrary, is there a way like worshipping with the true arguments, like because it says kutark, so sutark is also there, something like this?
Well, the false arguments means, that, oh, he's not Krishna, oh, he's a devotee, oh, he's like this, oh, no. Even Caitanya Mahaprabhu said, if anybody worships me but doesn't worship Nityananda or Advaita, then I consider their worship to be useless. Just like when Murari Gupta came to see Chaitanya Nityananda, he offered obeisances first to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and then afterwards to Nityananda. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was not happy. And then he had a dream where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and said, actually, Nityananda is older. So the next day, he came and offered obeisances to Nityananda and then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy. So this is, we please Chaitanya Mahaprabhu by worshipping Nityananda. We please Nityananda by worshipping Advaita. We please Advaita by giving up material desires. Vishaya Chadiya, as Narottam Das Thakur sings. Give up material desires. We give up material desires by following the 6 Goswamis. And we can follow the 6 Goswamis by situating ourselves in the parampara. And we can satisfy the parampara by becoming guru. So this is the chain that we must fulfill. And then we will give up all false arguments. Like, oh, I don't have time. False argument. I have no time for this Sankirtan. Therefore, I made it very accessible, 1 a week. If you can't distribute 1 book a week, then I hope that you get some special mercy, because this mercy is being offered by Srila Prabhupada.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare Krishna.
Maharaj, I have a question. As it comes in this verse that if one will not worship Lord Gauranga and Nityananda, his life will be destroyed. But in some case we see in Vrindavan Dham, there are many devotees, those who worship Sri Radha Krishna. Sometimes they accept Lord Krishna as a Lord, and sometimes Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is a great devotee. But they don't worship. So what is their hope?
Well, first of all, the mood in Vrindavan was established by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and the Goswamis. Before that, there was no Vrindavan. It was just some fields and some ponds. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu revived it. So most devotees they do worship Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to some degree at least. But those people that don't, if they're residents of Vrindavan, then whatever they do, they will go back home, back to Godhead. No, even if they're smoking beedies or whatever. No. But no, whatever they do. If they stay there, of course, if they're really rascal, Krishna may take them out and not allow them to go back home, back to God. It's like one resident of Vrindavan that I knew who was very nasty and offending the devotees. He got sick, and they took him to the hospital in Delhi, and he left his body. So he wasn't eligible, even though he was born in Vrindavan. He was not eligible to leave his body in Vrindavan because of offending the Vaishnavas. So, but if someone is not does not have that understanding, that is why Srila Prabhupada established Sri Sri Krishna Balaram Mandir, so they can come and understand Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And so, if they're not fortunate enough to do that, and they just worship Radha and Krishna, most likely they will go away. Just like so many people now from Delhi, they're not devotees. They go. It's like going to Vrindavan like weekend vacation. And that's why we have all these little signs, no selfies, because they go to Vrindavan, take a selfie with Krishna. Here I am with Krishna. So so they would not make much advancement, but that's why we in Krishna Balaram Mandir, basically they're distributing 30,000 plates of prasadam every day. So they come to Vrindavan, they get darshan of the deities, they offer obeisances to Srila Prabhupada, they take Charnamrita, and they get some prasadam. So they get some minimal benefit. Or they may go to Banki Bihari or some other temple, get some prasadam. Prem Mandir, I'm not so sure what the benefit is, but there must be some benefit. At least they have Radha Krishna deities. Although, unfortunately, Kripalu was not such a strict devotee. Although he was very knowledgeable. He could tell you, of course he had books, he had but he could tell you what page, you said something, he could tell you what page it was on. But unfortunately he had some not the best habits. So therefore we have Krishna Balaram Mandir. We don't have all the marble because we don't want people to come and see marble. We want them to come and see Krishna. So well, if they're in a bona fide sampradaya, then they may worship and they'll get some benefit. But they'll get the greatest benefit, even the other sampradaya. I mean, we have, there are people in the Sri Sampradaya. So, because they're worshipping Lord Vishnu, we respect them. We offer our obeisances to them. But they will go to Vaikuntha. Our duty as devotees of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is to take everyone to Goloka Vrindavan. That's our mood. Our mood is the mood of Goloka Vrindavan. Of course, someone may have a different mood, even though they may be in our movement. Just like Murari Gupta, he was a devotee of Lord Chaitanya, but his worshipable deity was Lord Ramachandra. So some people may, if you're worshipping Lord Chaitanya, Lord Ramachandra properly, or Vishnu, or Balaji, or then you will go to that destiny. If you're actually worshipping Sita Ram properly, according to all the regulations and rules that are established for Sita Ram, then you can go to Ayodhya. Ayodhya is between Goloka and Vaikuntha. Ayodhya Dham, in the spiritual world. Everything is there. So if someone has that mood, but two reasons why we want people to worship Lord Chaitanya. First of all, it's very difficult. Most people, they worship even Radha Krishna, what to speak of Sita Ram, what to speak of Vishnu, they worship improperly. But by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, even if they have that mood, they will learn how to worship properly. Because Lord Chaitanya came to show us how to worship. He also worshipped Sita Ram. He also worshipped Vishnu. He even worshipped Lord Shiva. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is there for everyone. So one more, I think one more then.
It is said that an ideal leader is, I have heard in some lectures that an ideal leader is Kshatriya by nature and a Brahman at heart. And you have been leading this society and you are in the topmost managerial position in this society for so many years. Maharaj, my question is that when we use this principle and we see the application of this principle in our day-to-day life, we really find it difficult to implement it, and those at some managerial positions tend to sometimes speak rudely, and they are not able to follow, even including me, and we all are not able to follow the proper etiquette that are supposed to be followed. So Maharaj, what would your advice be in this situation?
Prabhupada wanted us all to be pure devotees. So we may have Kshatriya nature, Vaishya nature. So Prabhupada said, because these natures are very strong, ultimately we should establish Varnashram, so that people can come up. But once they surrender to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, or they surrender to Srila Prabhupada, or surrender to our Parampara, then they should try to become pure devotees, whatever their nature is. The Pandavas were pure devotees. They were Kshatriyas. Shukadeva Goswami was a pure devotee. He was a Brahman. Nanda Maharaj was a Vaishya, but he was most pure devotee. And Haridas Thakur technically was a Shudra, but he was Namacharya. So this is the power of Shuddha Bhakti. So powerful that it can transform us. I've seen many devotees, even with very Shudra, they come from a Shudra background, and they become, after some years and purification, they're worshipping the deity. So this is the mercy of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is the mercy of Bhakti Devi. She's so powerful. She can take us beyond these designations. And that's our duty. Sarvapari Vinir Muktam. Just like every devotees read this thing about all my upadis, and then I pray that by the mercy of the Vaishnavas I can get rid of them. And no announcement. Just here is this aspiring devotee of Krishna wanting to speak to you. So we're not interested in our upadis, but they may influence us for some time. But by the end of this life, we should aspire, just let me be Krishna's pure devotee. At least by the end of the life. Better right now, but if I can't do it right now, because it's not difficult to be a pure devotee. You just have to follow the pure devotee. As long as you're strictly following, you are a pure devotee. But that doesn't mean you'll always be a pure devotee. Therefore you have to strictly follow. If you strictly follow, but not like a fanatic, not like a robot, like we don't want robots that just follow some rules and they don't understand. That's a fanatic. Our devotee understands the rule. Why is that rule there? Why do I do this? Why do I bow down? We don't just do some thing that comes from tradition or somebody told us. We may do it, but then I should understand, why am I doing it? What is the benefit? Just like Krishna asked Nanda Maharaj, what is the use of this sacrifice? So we see so many people in India, they do the yagya, they do but they don't know what it's about. Or whatever they know, is just a false argument. No. Just some external thing that somebody established somewhere, sometime, and nobody knows. Just like the story of Sarvagya, but I won't tell that story now, it's a little long. No. It's just the nature of tradition, or the nature of hearing something from someone without understanding why. No. So, this is why we have intelligence, to understand, not just to follow. But understand, why am I following? Then your following will be perfect, if you understand, why am I following? If we just follow something, then it becomes external. Just some external practices with the body and the mind. But that's all on the material platform. Until you offer it to Krishna with full understanding. Even in Krishna Lila, Damodar Lila, not Damodar Lila, I'm sorry, Govardhan Lila, Krishna, he says this to Nanda Maharaj. He says, if you do something without understanding, there's some benefit. If you understand, there is full benefit. So we should try to understand and get the full benefit. So we'll stop here. Thank you all very much. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Shri Shri Rukmini Dwarkadish. Shri Jagannath Baladev Subhadra Devi. Shri Shri Gornitai. Shri Damodar Yashoda Damodar ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanandi. Namata Koti Vaishnava Vrindi ki jai.
His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj ki. So thank you so much Maharaj for such a wonderful क्लास. महाराज ने सारे भक्तों को इंस्पायर किया पुस्तक वितरण करने के लिए. तो आप में से कितने भक्त तैयार हैं पुस्तक वितरण करने के लिए? हाउ मेनी ऑफ यू आर रेडी? सो हम महाराज का हृदय से धन्यवाद करते हैं. वी लाइक टू एक्सप्रेस आवर ग्रेटिट्यूड टू महाराज जी एंड ऑल्सो रिक्वेस्ट महाराज जी टू काइंडली विजिट द्वारका मोर फ्रिक्वेंटली सो दैट वी कैन गेट हिज एसोसिएशन. So Maharaj, we would like to express our gratitude by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. His Holiness Guru Prasad Swami Maharaj ki, Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki.
May you may have many birthdays and no more births.